Hello, everyone out there in YouTube land. Welcome to Diego Knows. I am Diego, and of course, today we're going to talk some more about Sex and the City. That's right, Sex and the City, that wonderful show from the late 90s, early 2000s. I'm Diego, and I have watched or reviewed every single episode of Sex and the City, and now I'm reviewing the movies too. That's right. We're almost done with the first movie, Sex and the City Part 1, the movie. Came out in 2008. All right, now I've already reviewed every goddamn episode of the show. Okay, I have already reviewed every goddamn episode of that piece of shit abortion known as And Just Like Crap. All the videos are on this channel if you want to watch what I thought about them. But what I do here is I give you a straight man's point of view. So I'm going to tell you exactly what a normal, average, heterosexual, yeah, I know, weird, right? Heterosexual man thinks about these women, these situations, these dating circumstances, and how the men on the supposed men on the show, how they act, okay? It's not very realistic. That's the only problem I have with the show. I actually did love this TV show. So when the movie came out, I did go see it in the theater, right? So I enjoyed the movie. It wasn't quite as good as the TV show, but you know they try to compact a lot of drama into a 2-hour movie. Okay, so there's a lot to cover here, and that's why I'm taking my time with all these reviews. Okay, so basically, the first thing I want to let all of you know that are watching this, especially if you're watching this for the first time, okay, I give you a straight man's point of view. I do not bullshit here. I'm going to tell you the honest God truth. I'm going to talk to you the way I would talk to anybody else, okay, if we had just finished watching the movie and then we're talking to each other about it, okay? I do not bullshit here, okay? If you're easily offended, if you're easily triggered, if you're a snowflake, get the fuck out of here right now. I will not censor myself. Okay? What the world needs right now is more truth. Okay? And I'm going to give you a big dose of truth straight up, babe, with no lube. No lube. None. Forget about it. All right? You have to bring your own lube. You ain't getting any here. All right? So I'm giving you a heads up warning right now, okay? We're all adults here. Oh, you better be adults if you're watching, okay? We're all adults here, okay? So I'm just talking to you the way I talk to anybody else, okay? Now, I am a guy, all right? I'm not your gay friend, and I'm not one of your girlfriends, all right? So I'm going to tell you this truth. I'm going to separate the fact from the fiction. Sometimes people don't want to hear the truth, okay? But it's better to know than not know, okay? And that's what I'm going to do here. I give you the truth from a man's point of view, okay? Whether you like it or not, it's better to know than not know. Okay, so where we are right now in the Sex and the City movie, a lot of stuff's already happened. Miranda caught her husband. Well, she didn't catch him. He told her. He confessed to cheating on her once with a girl, and it was a nothing, and he swears he'll never do it again. And of course, I've already told you, watch my other videos, okay, how I felt about that. He should never said shit. But that's the story arc for Miranda. She's still mad at him, okay. Charlotte's pregnant now, and she's like, 6-7 months pregnant now. She actually got pregnant. Remember on the show, she couldn't get pregnant? Well, in the movie, she got pregnant, okay? Now, she's already adopted a little 3-year-old Asian girl already named Lily, okay? But now she's actually going to give birth to a child as well. Okay, so that's her story so far. Samantha is with her boyfriend, Smith Jerrod. He's a famous TV actor now. He's not some struggling actor like he was before when we first met him on the TV show. Now he's established himself. Samantha lives in LA. She manages his career full time, which means she doesn't do shit. She pays people to do that for her. Okay, she basically just sits around the house all fucking day, the beach house, while he's working 13, 14 hours a day on the set to film his TV show. She sits around the house that has windows, no walls. You can see right through the whole fucking thing. And she sits there and she plays with herself in the fucking in the jacuzzi while she watches her neighbor, some good-looking guy, fuck a bunch of different girls every night. That's basically all she does. Okay, but because New Year's is already come and gone, Carrie spent New Year's alone because obviously she got jilted by Big. She decided she wanted to sit and mope, and she watched Meet Me in St. Louis with Judy Garland. Remember that one? Was the ding, ding, ding went the bell. Wang, wang, wang went the trolley. When I saw him, I knew that I fell. Blom, blom, blom. I'm not going to sing the whole fucking thing. Anyway, you know the one I'm talking about, right? Yeah, it's catchy, isn't it? I know. Okay, so yeah, so that's going on here. And she decides she's going to spend New Year's with Miranda because Miranda's got nothing to do on New Year's. She don't want to spend it with her husband because she's still mad at him. They're separated. She's actually got her own apartment now. And it's his turn to have their kids. So she's going to sit around at home and stuff her big fucking fat ass with Chinese food, just like she did on the TV show. Well, Carrie says, "Nuh-uh, that ain't gonna happen. I'm gonna go there and be with you." So she can't get a cab. It's New Year's, so she fucking takes the subway to Brooklyn and she spends New Year's with her, with Miranda. Okay. Now that everything's going back to normal here. It's after New Year's. Luis, that's Jennifer Hudson. That is Carrie's assistant that she hired to help her unpack and to manage her website and things like that. Go through all of her paperwork and shit because she can't do that on her own. Okay, so Jennifer Hudson comes back from her little Christmas vacation in St. Louis. That's where she's from. She's only been in New York for a little while, and she basically fucking reconnected with her boyfriend, the one that dumped her. The reason she came to New York in the first place. They reconnected back together in St. Louis. Okay, and now Carrie gets to meet him. Boom. So that's done here. Okay, and now it's Valentine's Day. Okay, so it's Valentine's Day now, and obviously nobody has any plans. Obviously, Charlotte and Harry are going to spend Valentine's Day together with their daughter because she's pregnant. She's going to have another kid. Samantha decided that she is going to cook sushi for Smith Jerrod so that when he gets home from the studio, when he gets home, he's gonna see her laying on the table naked, covered in sushi. Okay, and I guess that's supposed to turn her on. I don't know, ladies. I think that stuff turns you on, but then a lot of the shit that turns you on does not turn a man on. I mean, maybe you think that's sexy. I don't know. Maybe there's some guys out there that think I'm sexy. I don't know. I'm not fucking Japanese. But the thought of eating food off of a woman's fucking pussy is just not exciting to me. Those are two different entrees. Okay, they don't go together. All right. No. Okay. Think about raw fish on the raw. Nah, it ain't gonna happen. Not in my life anyway. So I don't think it's fucking sexy, but Samantha's really into it because she does shit like that. She'll stick a fucking dildo up her ass, okay, and do a helicopter. She thinks that's sexy. All right. So she'll try anything. I don't think it's sexy at all. But anyway, so she makes this sushi, and you can tell that she really is not motivated to do it. She doesn't fucking like having a boyfriend. She resents being his manager, even though I'm sure she gets paid very well. She gets paid enough to afford this fucking beautiful palatial fucking no curtains fucking beach house that they're living in Hollywood. She gets paid enough for that. Okay, he's making a shitload of money. I mean, he dropped fucking 60 grand on a diamond ring for her without even blinking. Okay, the most she was willing to pay is 50 grand, but her boyfriend paid 60 grand for it and gave it to her as a gift. And what is her reaction to that? Fuck you, you asshole! I wanted to buy it myself. Basically, she didn't give it back. But yeah. So she's very ungrateful, and she's very annoyed that she has to have a boyfriend. Now, we all know Samantha. First of all, she's like about to turn 50 here, and he's like 32. Okay, 31, 32, and she's like 50. Okay, so there's a big age difference here. And realistically, a man like him would not be with her unless she was doing something for his career. So this movie is not going to tell you that, but I am a straight man, and I know guys like Smith Jerrod. I did acting. I knew a lot of models, a lot of musicians, a lot of stand-up comedians, a lot of actors. Okay, and guys like Smith Jerrod, I've known plenty of guys like him. They get their sugar mamas, and then they take them for all they're worth. Okay, the sugar mama might wise up, or maybe she won't. She'll find someone else and start giving that guy her money, whatever. But usually that's what happens. Okay, I honestly thought that he would have fucking got rid of her a long time ago, especially after she fucked the other guy right in front of him. Well, not in front of him. She went up the elevator and fucked him. Then she came back down. But she told him she was going to fuck him, and he still stayed with her. Okay, and then of course he stayed with her through chemotherapy because that's his meal ticket. That's why he did it. Now the show's not going to tell you that. The show's going to tell you he's in love with her. Okay, that's why he stayed with him. Bull fucking shit. Okay, I'm sorry. I know. I don't want to burst your bubble. I know you love Samantha so much, but realistically, he fucking used her. And she used him too. She used him for sex. But now it's more official. Now it's like she's his actual man. Now she actually has to fucking do some work. Okay, that's her cash cow now. The roles have flipped. But Samantha doesn't care too much, so I'm guessing she already has a shitload of money. She don't need to fucking manage him anymore. It's more important for her to have her freedom than it is to manage her boyfriend. Okay, so she's not happy being his manager. She wants to talk about herself. She doesn't want to talk about him, even though her job is literally to talk about him to clients. To get him acting jobs, to book all of his events. So yeah, it's all sorts of fucked up. Anyway, she wants to be her own publicist, basically, is what she wants to be, even though that's not going to happen. Okay, so So she decides that rather than cheat on him, she's gonna buy a fucking little toy dog, and that's what she did. She bought a toy dog, but she's getting really horny watching her neighbor fuck all these young, hot, beautiful women. Because her neighbor looks like he's in his 30s, maybe around the same age as Smith. And the girls that he's fucking, they're in their 20s. Okay, they're younger, they're in their 20s. I recognize one of them. One of them's a porn star, Monica Mayhem. I recognized her, and I did check the credits to see that was her. Yeah, it's her. Okay, and I've seen her getting plowed before in real life, okay, but Samantha seems to think that she falls into that category, and I'm sorry, babe, you are attractive for a 50-year-old, but you are a 50-year-old, okay? She just assumes that if she stays there long enough that she's going to end up fucking this guy. She's assuming that this guy's going to fuck her, that she's not too old for him, okay? I don't buy that at all. A guy like him, if he's pulling ass like these tens that he's fucking, these young hot women that he's fucking, I don't know what he does for a living. He's probably a drug dealer, okay? I know because fucking I had a roommate that I did not know was dealing drugs out of my house, okay? And that guy was getting laid like a fucking toilet seat, okay? At a concert, okay? Unfucking believable. So, yeah. That's probably what he's doing, but who knows? Anyway, she assumes that he's gonna fuck her too if she makes a move on him, okay? And on the show, it would happen because this show takes place in between the fucking Twilight Zone, okay, and the fucking Sci-Fi Channel, okay, where 50-year-old women get their pick of the litter of guys that will fuck them, okay? Now, if she was a super good-looking, like a Pamela Anderson, a 23-year-old Pamela Anderson, okay, yes, she probably can get fucking any guy she wants, okay? But Samantha I'm sorry, she's a 50-year-old Kim Cattrall, okay, who needs Botox and doesn't like to work out, okay? And she's got a fucking big egomaniac attitude. I like her, okay, but let's face it, Kim Cattrall, the only time she ever shows compassion or empathy, okay, is towards her fucking girlfriend, specifically Carrie. I honestly don't think Samantha gives two shits about Miranda or Charlotte, okay, but she will do anything for Carrie, okay? And that's pretty obvious. All right, boom, now I got that out of the way. Okay, so now we're caught up. Okay, so she's gonna make sushi for fucking Smith when he shows up. Yeah, when he shows up. Yeah, right. Okay, so Carrie decides to look at her Vogue issue because she bought the Vogue magazine that featured her inside the issue. They did a story about her. They thought she was gonna get married. She modeled all these expensive dresses. Oscar de la Renta. She actually got to keep the Vivienne Westwood. Vivienne Westwood let her keep that dress, and that's the one she used for her wedding, which ended up not happening. Okay, but she kept the dress anyway. All right. Yeah, I know. Okay, so. So at the very end of the article about her, the photo shoot about her, it says in there that the wedding got canceled right as the magazine went to print. Okay, and that Carrie Bradshaw is still single and living in New York. So she's embarrassed. And rightfully so. Okay, she's getting recognized. People are recognizing her and telling her, "I'm sorry about your wedding," all that kind of shit. So she's decided to fucking color her hair and become a brunette. She said, "My head is in the witness protection program." Okay. So she's looking at that issue again, and she ends up spending Valentine's Day with Miranda. Miranda's got nobody to spend it with either. Obviously, she's separated from her husband. Okay, and Carrie's single, of course. Okay, so they decide to go to a Valentine's Day party together. Okay, well, it's got all these fucking streamers and shit, all these garlands hanging from the ceiling, all these Valentine-shaped balloons and shit. I don't know where they are, but they're at some restaurant. Okay, so Miranda and her are sitting there together at a table. The waitress shows up to offer them wine, and she assumes that they are a lesbian couple, which is kind of funny, I guess. Hey, it's New York. All right. Okay, so they're sitting there on Valentine's Day party. And of course, they're playing the lovely Captain and Tennille song in the background. Love will keep us together. I absolutely love that song. I remember hearing it when I was a toddler on the radio, and it was just a fun song. I had no idea that Captain and Tennille were such fucking popcorn bullshit music when I became older. But when I'm a kid and you're listening to Love will keep us together. When you're listening to that, it's actually pretty cool. Okay, and I still love that song, although I'm not supposed to admit to that, but I actually do love Captain and Tennille. Too bad they didn't have any other hit songs, okay, that I can think of, okay, but they're playing Love Will Keep Us Together, and I actually do honestly love that song. It's a great fucking song, okay. And none of you out there know who the fuck I'm talking about unless you're like my age or older. Okay, but Captain Tennille, yeah, you know what? And she ended up, this bitch fucking, Tennille fucking divorced the captain after fucking 29 years of marriage. And then she divorced him. I guess 29 years is enough time to know that you don't want to be with this fucker anymore, right? And then he died right after that. Okay, I'm pretty sure she cheated on him too. Just because the way she was talking about him after he was dead, she's talking about him like fucking he never left her and that. He cared more about his music than he did about me. Sounds like he wasn't fucking buying you enough gifts. That's what it sounds like. All right, but anyway, that's neither here nor there. Okay, so anyway, they're playing Captain Tennille. Okay, and their plan is to get shit-faced because they're both alone on Valentine's Day. Okay, and they're sitting there. The waitress assumes they're a lesbian couple. They both of them, Miranda and Carrie, they look like fucking Rocket Raccoon. I'm expecting Bradley Cooper to come back and reprise his role from the magazine episode of Sex and the City in season 2. Okay, because they both got so much fucking mascara on that they both look like fucking Rocket Raccoon, which is Bradley Cooper's character in Guardians of the Galaxy. Okay. That look at that scene again. Okay, they both have fucking black eyes, both of them. Like, what the fuck? Who are you trying to impress? You're just going out with each other. Why the fuck are you fucking got the goddamn fucking, the Nestor Carbonell fucking eyes? All right, that dude. Yeah, they look like him, like fucking raccoons. Okay, and for those of you who don't know Nestor Carbonell, that's the guy from fucking that Brooke Shields sitcom. Remember? I don't know. I don't watch those chick shows. Anyway, you remember him from Lost? He was Richard from Lost. Okay, now you know what I'm talking about. The guy with the fucking mascara. He was the mayor of Gotham City in The Dark Knight. Yeah, now you know what I'm talking about. Okay, that fucker. Okay, he's got just as much mascara as these women do. Okay. The Jason Momoa, the tattooed fucking, mascara. Yeah, that's what he's got. That's what they have. Okay. And Carrie tells, after they get a little tipsy, Carrie mentions to Miranda that she's done a lot of soul searching and she's reflected a lot on what happened to her, on why she got jilted, why Big couldn't get out of the car, and why the wedding was ruined. Okay, and she says that I deserved what I got. And I couldn't believe I was hearing her say this. In this speech that she makes to Miranda, she's actually accepting responsibility for a couple of seconds at least. She's accepting responsibility for her part in the debacle. Okay, what was her part in the reason that wedding went to shit? Okay, well, now obviously, the real reason is that Big wouldn't get out of the car, so he basically jilted her at the altar. Okay, that's really what happened, but what was her part in it? Okay, what was her part in it? Okay, and well, I've been saying this since the very beginning. Okay, this wedding was all about her. It wasn't about him. He had nothing to do with it, just like every other wedding in America, right? Okay, well, exactly, that's what it was. He wasn't involved. Okay, he wasn't barely even mentioned, barely like he's just supposed to show up. Everything else was handled by Carrie. Everything else was the way Carrie wanted. She never consulted him about what he wanted. It was never important to her. This whole wedding was just fucking what she wants, and because he loved her so much, he just wanted to make her happy. He's just trying to make her happy. I want to make you happy, Carrie. Whatever you see, that's the face I didn't want you to make, Carrie. Okay, fine, I'll do it, Carrie. Like, oh my God, 200 guests will be 75 guests. Well, it's in the newspaper. You advertised our wedding in the newspaper. That kind of shit. That's not what he wanted. Okay, it's his third marriage. But anyway, she accepts responsibility now. She starts to realize, hey, it wasn't all his fault. Like, some of this was me too, And she says, I deserved what I got. I was running around New York, showing off my happy ending. Basically, I was being arrogant and I was bragging to everybody about how I'm marrying like an American Prince Charming and rubbing everyone's face in it. People that didn't need to know. People that she doesn't even know very well. She was telling everybody, look who I'm married. I'm getting married. That kind of thing, And I know it's normal for people to do that, but she took it to another level. Okay, when she's fucking bragging about her wedding in fucking Vogue magazine, okay, I think there's a little big egocentrism going on here, okay? A little bit of narcissism maybe, okay? And Carrie's definitely been guilty of that before in the past. I mean, Jesus Christ, look at the way she fucking dresses, all right? So she says, I was showing off my happy ending. See, love does conquer all. My one-of-a-kind wedding gown, I was showing it off, okay, and marrying the love of my life. I never said we. I never ever said we. Not once in that entire Vogue article about me did I ever use the word we, okay? Everything was about what I wanted. It was all about what I wanted. And Miranda says, the article was from your point of view. And she's like, the whole wedding was from my point of view. Okay, I let this wedding get bigger than Big. I'm the reason he didn't get out of the car. And I was just like, holy shit. Oh my God. I was like, oh my God, like she nailed it. Like nobody had to point that out to her. Nobody had to fucking tell her this, okay? Nobody had to explain this to her. Okay, no, none of the characters just love Carrie. They're gonna agree with whatever she does, mostly just to make her feel better. But that's the problem. Is everyone on the show revolves around Carrie? They all orbit around Carrie. I know it's because she's the main character, but it's also because whatever to meet her needs. Everyone's there to boost up Carrie. Okay, Samantha, Charlotte, they would never gather around to boost up Miranda. Miranda and Charlotte would never get together to boost up Samantha, but all three of them will get together to boost up Carrie. Okay, now maybe it's just her narcissistic point of view because she is the main character, but the time they show the relationship is when all the women in relation to Carrie and what they all can do for Carrie. And it's not just the women, it's bigger than that. It's the supporting characters. What can they do for Carrie? What can Big do for Carrie? What can Harry do for Carrie? What can Lily do for Carrie? That's what this entire show is based on. What can I do for Carrie? Okay, that's Sex in the City in a nutshell right there, okay? And I'm surprised that the writers had the balls to call that out. That's the stuff that's left unsaid in the show. Okay, but here they are calling it out right now. Everything is the way I want it. Everyone's here for me. You know, what the fuck? I let this wedding get bigger than Big. It's just like she let the relationship get bigger than Big when they were first dating. She kept putting pressure on him to commit to her, and he wasn't ready. You know, like exactly. I'm surprised that they actually went there, but it was honest. Okay, and I love that scene. I love the fact that she admitted it. But now it's all going to go to shit because Miranda decides to take this opportunity to finally confess to Carrie. Okay, about her part in the wedding not going well. Okay, and she tells Carrie the truth. She tells Carrie that hey, that night of the rehearsal dinner, the night before your wedding, when Steve showed up and I went out there and yelled at him. Okay, for cheating on me, and he tried to apologize. Well, when I went back inside, I was upset, I was angry, and Big was there, and I was angry at Steve, and I told Big that he was crazy to marry you, that you were both crazy to marry each other, and that marriage is for losers, and that marriage ruins your life. I told him that, and I'm sorry I did that. I shouldn't have done it, but I was mad at the time, you know, and Carrie's just like, I have been going over and over in my head for 5 months! And you kept a secret like that from me! Well, I tried to tell you once! Once! You should have tried to tell me every single day! I know! I was waiting for the right time! There is no right time to tell me that you ruined my marriage! Okay, you go, it just happened, Carrie. I wasn't thinking. Holy shit, man, where have we heard this argument before, huh? Exactly. You know, Carrie gets up, she puts her coat on, but the streamers are hanging, so the garland is getting inside of her coat while she's trying to put it on. But she's so angry, she doesn't even give a shit. Okay? But I can't help but notice it. It's funny. Like, bro, please don't go, Carrie. And Carrie's like, what hurts me the most is that you kept a secret from me, and I never kept one from you. Never. I lied. For the last 5 months, I thought it was a huge mistake that you left Steve. There. How does it feel? Okay. So Miranda's like, well, you know, I don't think it's a mistake that she left Steve. I think he's a better man that she's gone. But of course, you know, we have to sympathize with Miranda here because you know. Okay, so that's going on here, and so she leaves. Okay, and Miranda just sits there upset. Okay, later on, Samantha is covered. She's naked. Okay, and she's covered her entire body in sushi, and she's laying on the table, and she's talking to herself, and she's saying, oh, any minute now, which means that Smith is about to come in the room. He should be getting home any minute now. As soon as he walks in, he's going to see her laying there, and he's got to start eating her fucking sushi off of her naked body. Well, that doesn't happen, but the phone does ring, and she can't get the sushi off her to go answer it, so she just lets the answer machine take it, and it's Smith telling her that he's running late, that he at the studio, and that he's going to be a little bit late getting home. So now she's fucking even more pissed off because all this is all his fault, right? Okay. So it's been 40 minutes. She's been sitting there, and he still hasn't come home. So she's pissed off. Of course she is. Okay. She hears her neighbor fucking She hears him fucking in the house next door. Okay, so she decides, she finally gets frustrated. She takes all the sushi off of her and throws it on the floor. Her dog eats some of it, and then she goes over and she watches him fucking two girls this time. He's having a three-way. Okay, of course, she's right there. There's no curtains. Anybody can see. Yeah, exactly. Realistic, right? Okay, yeah, so yeah, she's watching him fuck two girls this time. Two hot young girls. Okay. Yeah, and so she's even more pissed off now, and now she's horny too. She wants to fuck this guy really bad. Okay, and then of course Smith shows up. By this time, Samantha's dressed. She's sitting in the kitchen. She's fucking pissed off. Like, this is all his fault. Like, he fucking did all this on purpose, okay? He actually fucking called you, you fucking bitch. Okay, he called you and told you he's running late. Okay, he didn't know that you were gonna fucking put sushi on your naked body. If he'd known that, okay, he might have been able to do something, or he would have told you not to do it. Okay, but that never happened. Okay, you're just gonna fucking blame him because he was out there fucking making money that's gonna go into your fucking purse. Okay, so of course it's his fault, right? Okay, so Sam's like, I made you sushi and laid on a table naked for you for 3 hours. I got wasabi in places where nobody should get wasabi. And he's like, oh, well, sorry. She's like, you think it's funny that I slaved all day in the Tia's kitchen to make you a lovely meal? Hey, Samantha, come on, you made sushi. Okay? It's no big deal. No big deal! Yeah, she starts throwing fucking food at him. Yeah, very mature, right? How'd you get a job owning your own publishing business, publicity business? She's like, I am not the type of woman who sits around all day waiting for a man. Yeah. And he's basically using the refrigerator as a shield. Okay, while she has her fucking very mature reaction, her 49-year-old mature reaction, okay, yelling at him for things that aren't his fault, okay. Nobody made her cook that fucking sushi, spent all day or lay down naked. She did that because she fucking wanted to, and she didn't tell him she was gonna do that, okay? No, you're right. She is not the type of woman that sits around all day waiting for a man, okay? She's an egomaniac, slutty, alcoholic bitch who blames men for not going her way, okay? For not doing things her way. Okay, that's what she is, okay? And then she's like, enjoy that, your California handmade rolls! Okay, and then she walks away. Happy Valentine's Day! Okay, after she walks away, Smith pulls out of his bag, like he had like a heart-shaped chocolate that he was gonna give her, but there's obviously no point in doing that. I would not have given her those chocolates, honestly. I think Samantha's being a fucking horrible girlfriend. I think she is a horrible girlfriend. I mean, she might be a good lay, I don't know, but she doesn't know how to pair bond. She doesn't know, if she really loved this guy, she wouldn't have yelled at him like this, okay? This has nothing to do with him. This has everything to do with her. She doesn't understand how to be in a relationship. She doesn't understand how to sacrifice for her partner, okay? She doesn't understand those things. Everything's got to be her way, and then when things don't go her way, when nobody acts the way that she wants them to act, when the world doesn't bend to her will, she gets mad and she lashes out. Okay, life isn't about controlling the world, it's about navigating the terrain. Okay, you got to adapt and overcome. That's what they taught us in the Marines. Okay, Samantha does not know how to do that. Now, she might be able to do that in her professional life. I don't know, we never really see her work. Okay, and she knows how to do that with Carrie, because she obviously loves Carrie. Okay, but you got to remember, Samantha loves Carrie in a way that she does not love anybody else. Okay, she's always talking about how she loves herself more, but the problem is when you love yourself more, nobody can love you. Okay, you end up being alone. Okay, and once you're alone, okay, you don't really love yourself that much. Okay, I understand why I'm not gonna go into it here. I've done it already in other videos why she acts this way. Okay, but she's basically taking it out on Smith. She's taking it out on Smith because she's too fucking afraid to be intimate with Smith. Now, I'm not talking about sex. I'm talking about intimacy. I'm talking about letting your guards down, okay? I'm talking about spilling the beans about your life, the things that nobody knows about, okay? Trusting your partner, okay, with details about who you are and what you feel and what's important to you. She hasn't done that to Smith, okay? She's expecting him to read his mind. The reason she hasn't done that to Smith is because fucking she doesn't want to tell him anything, And then she gets mad that he doesn't know. Typical woman, I know. But yeah, I mean, basically that's one of the biggest problems. Whenever they talk about how communication is the number one problem, this is what I'm talking about. Okay, she expects him to read her mind. Okay, and he can't. He can't. Okay, her problem, she's taking it out on him. She doesn't know how to be intimate. She's scared of being intimate, but she ain't gonna admit that to herself, much less that to him. Okay, so of course it's his fault. Okay, that's your go-to. That's every woman on the show's go-to. It's like, no, it's a man's fault. It's a man's fault. Well, why the fuck you want to fuck us so bad then? If everything's our fucking fault. You know? Go fuck yourselves. That way you can blame yourself for everything. Okay, so that's what's going on. Okay, so Smith does not give her the gift he got her. Okay, all right. Meanwhile, Miranda has been I'm sorrying for 3 days on the phone, leaving messages left and right for Carrie. She's listening to another one while she's brushing her teeth. Okay, she's sorry for not telling her about what she said to Big. Okay, but Carrie is not ready to talk to Miranda. It's already been 3 days. That's the longest that Carrie's ever gone without talking to Miranda. Okay, so finally Miranda just fucking shows up at her fucking brownstone in a taxi while the meter's running in the rain, waiting for Carrie to come back home so she can fucking talk to her. Carrie eventually does show up. She tells her, hey, will you get inside, please? The meter's running. I've already spent $18 sitting here waiting for you to show up. Okay, so Carrie gets in the taxi with Miranda, and Miranda says, like, look, it just happened. I'm sorry, okay? I never meant to hurt you. Whoa, where have I heard that before? You know, you have to forgive me. Where have I heard that before, Miranda? And Carrie says, like, you know, you badger me for 3 days to forgive you, but you won't consider forgiving Steve for something that he did 6 months ago. You know? And well, that's because friends are more important than anyone else on this show. Okay, you can't lose your friends. Fuck your husband, fuck your kids, fuck your family. They're not important. What's really important is my friendship with you, Carrie. You're the one that I have to get forgiven by. You're the one. Please. You see what I mean? Fuck Steve. I don't give a shit about him. It's you, Carrie. You're the one I can't live without. You see what I mean? That's what I'm talking about this show, okay? They put friendships above everything else, okay? It might be a fun TV show, okay? But realistically, no. All this shit that's going on, this is shit your family's supposed to help you with, you know? You get stood up at the altar. It's supposed to be your mom, okay? Your mom's supposed to be the one, okay, feeding you because you haven't eaten in 2 days, okay? Not Samantha. You see what I mean? Anyway, okay, so that's going on, so she says, like, you have to forgive me. Miranda's like, it's not the same thing. Me not forgiving Steve is not the same thing as you not forgiving me. It's forgiveness, Miranda. And the taxi driver's listening in the whole thing. He's like, with his fucking turban on. Okay. And Miranda is still sitting next thing we see is Miranda and Steve are at a marriage counselor's. That's the next scene that we see. They're sitting there together on a couch talking to the counselor, and Miranda admits to the counselor that she's afraid that Steve's going to do it again. He's going to cheat on her again. Okay, and that he'll do it again. And Steve says, like, hey, you made it hard for me to trust you too, Miranda. The way you treated me, the way you cut me off out of your life. I mean, like that. I mean, yeah, I broke a vow, but what about the other vows? Like promising to love someone for better or worse. What about that? How do I know, doctor, that she won't punish me for the rest of my life? Oh my fucking, I think a straight guy wrote this scene here. Holy shit, it's fucking true. It is true. And I've done this before. I've cheated on a girl before and I got caught. I remember this one time I got caught. Yeah. No, she didn't catch me in coitus. She fucking checked my phone when I wasn't looking. She went through my messages. So she found out. Okay. And yeah, she was fucking mad for a long time. But then eventually, she decided to forgive me. Okay, so we decided to. It was just a girl I was fucking. It actually overlapped. I wasn't with my girlfriend. I was seeing some other girl. Okay, and then my girlfriend all of a sudden wanted to get back together because she missed me and I missed her too. So I got back with my girlfriend, but I hadn't exactly ended the intermediate relationship. It wasn't. It was just sexual. Okay, I hadn't ended it yet. Okay, so I thought I'd break it to her. Okay. Wow, this sounds bad. I thought I would break it to her in a pleasant way, if you know what I mean. Okay, yeah, you know what I mean. Okay, well, she found out. She found out, and yeah, and she was mad, really mad. Eventually, she did forgive me, so I thought. But the truth is, she didn't. She would bring it up almost every fucking day. She would bring it up on how I cheated on her, or how I slept with another woman, and how I hid it behind her back, and finally I just said, okay, fuck you, bitch. I'm done. I'm done with this. You never forgive me for this. You're never gonna forgive me. You're gonna throw this in my fucking face every fucking day. Okay? I told you I'm sorry. I never saw her again. I never called her again. I deleted her number. I did everything that you wanted me to do, but you still kept bringing it up, and you still kept throwing it in my fucking face, especially when you were drunk. Okay, you would tell everybody at a party or something that I fucking cheated on you, and it's just like, come on, I'm done. I'm done with this. I'm done. And I'm glad I ended that relationship with her because she wasn't that good. Okay, so anyway, so yeah, basically I understand. All right. So they're at the marriage counselor, and I'm glad Steve said what he said. Okay, and the therapist says, like, well, neither one of you knows if your fears won't come true. Okay, Miranda, you don't know if he's going to stay faithful to you forever. And Steve, you don't know if she's going to hold this against you forever and never forgive you. You both don't know, okay? But what you have to do is you have to trust that the love that you both have for each other won't allow those things to happen. And that's a good point. That makes a lot of sense, And so they decide that they're going to do something about it, okay? All right, so that's going to end my review for right now, and I will be back shortly with part 12 of the Sex and the City movie. Thank you for watching this long, and I will see you soon on the next one. Bye.